Hey all, I knew eventually I would do a video where I talk over the work, but I wasn't sure when that would happen. But given the mess I had to clean up this morning, I think this one's going to be as good as any. I got a call from what I found out to be a pretty amazing homeowner who is dealing with a toilet leaking into their kitchen after installing a bidet. She had a plumber there who had fixed the issue, but the plumber didn't have a multi-tool to cut open a slot in the kitchen cabinet to validate that the repair had worked. I had 2 hours to kill, so I ran over to the house, cut them a hole to confirm the plumber's work. When I asked him to flush the toilet, it turned into Niagara Falls all over again. After this, I had to start PMing a bit because the plumber was trying to pawn off the job on me, given he accomplished nothing, and he said he had another emergency call. I went upstairs with him and I asked him to remove the toilet and the flange extender he had installed. Lo and behold, he just slapped some silicone on top of the existing flange and put the extender on. Once I told him to start digging, I discovered that there were 2 additional flanges that were placed on by the original contractor. I asked him to remove all that crap because that was just some Mickey Mouse shenanigans I wasn't going to deal with. I let the homeowner know that I would handle the job first thing the next morning, and they were pretty happy with that. Suffice to say, this quote-unquote plumber was a bit of a disaster, and the previous contractor didn't do any favors for the homeowner by stacking 2 additional flanges on top of one another. Once the toilet was moved by an inch, it was game over. I want to make sure they had a permanent solve and some peace of mind, so I started cleaning out some of the gunk that was left behind for me, including a broken bolt, and then dry packed the cavity with some mortar. After this, I began fitting an Oatey flange extender, which is pricey, but well worth it in my opinion. The tile wasn't quite wide enough, so I chiseled out a little bit more room. After installing the flange extender and caulking around the perimeter, I made sure everything was level. Throw in a wax ring and you're almost there. A cool tip for anyone installing toilets is to drop some painter's tape and mark the location of your flange bolts. This way, when you're standing over the flange holding the heavy toilet, it's a lot easier to line up the bolts with the holes. After tightening the bolts and connecting the water line, I wanted to give it a few test flushes to confirm there was 0 water dripping, and we were good to go. I asked the homeowner to keep the ceiling cavity open for a few weeks just to dry out any residual moisture, and then afterwards some insulation can be installed to help mitigate some of the noise from the flushing. Hopefully that video was helpful to some of you, and definitely don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions, and you should give this a go. It's not that hard, just take your time and follow the right steps. Have a great weekend, everyone.